Confidence isn't built overnight. It's hidden in tiny daily habits. And trust me, these little shifts rewired everything for me. According to me, confidence isn't some magic you're born with. It's stitched together, slowly, through rituals that look small but feel huge once you live them daily. Habit 1. Journaling, char writing reflections daily. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The habit that quietly saved me was journaling. Sounds boring? I thought the same until it cracked me open. You know what's crazy? When you actually sit with a pen, your head stops spinning. Those swirling thoughts, self-doubt, anxiety, overthinking, they land on paper and suddenly you can see them. According to psychologists, this is self-awareness in action. You're literally slowing down your mind, making sense of your mess. At first, my journal was just scribbles. Some days I'd write, "I feel like crap." Other days I'd note one tiny win. But looking back weeks later, that's when it hit me. I wasn't stuck. I was growing. Imagine this. You wake up doubting yourself, but then flip to last month's page and realize, wow, I actually handled that awkward meeting or stuck with my morning routine. That perspective fuels confidence. Here's how I made it stick. No fancy notebooks, no pressure. 5 minutes before bed, I'd write 3 sentences. What went well, what I learned, and what I felt. That's it. Would you do it? Because honestly, this single act felt like therapy without the therapist, and it made me trust myself more than ever. Habit 2, setting and achieving small goals. But wait, it gets even better. Because journaling is like fuel, but goals are the engine. I must say, nothing rebuilt my confidence like setting a tiny goal and smashing it. Not the big, intimidating New Year resolutions, the small ones. Think, drink 2 liters of water today, read 5 pages before bed, walk 10 minutes at lunch. Why does this matter? Psychology calls them mastery experiences. Every time you finish something you set out to do, your brain logs it as proof. See? You're capable. That proof piles up and suddenly you're not faking confidence, you're building it. I started with laughably small goals. I remember writing, "Don't check my phone before 9." And when I actually pulled it off, I felt unstoppable. Silly? Maybe. But these little wins stacked up. Zen Habit says it best. Competence breeds confidence. You don't need a miracle transformation. You need momentum. And those small goals, they're momentum in disguise. Want an example? Last month, I challenged myself to write down 1 gratitude each morning. Now, 30 days later, it's automatic. Tiny goals, huge ripple effect. So, what would you pick today? One small win could be the first domino that knocks down years of self-doubt. Habit 3, reading, learning something new. This part blew my mind. Confidence doesn't just come from how you feel. It also comes from what you know. Here's the thing. Every time I picked up a book, watched a documentary, or even learned a new recipe, my self-worth quietly expanded. Why? Because suddenly I had something fresh to say, something useful to share. Conversations stopped feeling like tests. I wasn't the quiet one anymore. I had input, stories, and insights. There's research behind this. Skill acquisition is deeply tied to self-esteem. When you grow your knowledge, you grow your sense of competence. And that competence, it bleeds into everything. Work, relationships, even how you walk into a room. I'll tell you what changed me. I set a simple challenge. Just 10 pages a day. Sometimes it was a self-growth book, a biography, or even manga. 10 pages doesn't sound like much, but in a month, that's 300 pages. That's a whole book finished without pressure. You know what's crazy? I started talking more. I felt less behind. And that tiny daily reading habit made me realize I wasn't stagnant. I was evolving. So maybe ask yourself, what's one new thing you could learn this week? because that curiosity might just be your secret weapon for confidence. Habit 4, positive self-talk, affirmations. And here's where it gets even stranger. Most of the battles that wreck our confidence don't happen outside. They happen inside our own heads. I used to tear myself apart. Miss one workout? I'd call myself lazy. Fumble a sentence in front of colleagues? I'd replay it for hours. That constant self-bashing killed me slowly. Then I stumbled across affirmations and thought, this is corny. But the truth? It worked. Here's why. Your brain doesn't actually know the difference between a thought you repeat and a fact. Tell yourself daily, I'm capable, I'm learning, I'm enough. Eventually, it sticks. Zen Habits even suggests replacing every negative thought with a positive alternative. At first, it feels forced, but over time, it rewires how you see yourself. Let me give you a moment. I was prepping for a presentation, shaking with nerves. Instead of spiraling into, I'm going to mess this up, I whispered, I've got this. I'm prepared. And you know what? I nailed it. I'm not saying affirmations make you invincible, but they stop you from being your own worst enemy. And sometimes that's all you need. So next time you catch yourself trash-talking in your head, pause. Ask, would I say this to my best friend? If not, change it. Habit 5, morning routine, no phone plus. Make your bed. Just when it seemed like mornings couldn't get any worse, I realized 2 tiny habits flipped my whole day. Ditching my phone and making my bed. Let's start with the phone. For years, the first thing I did after waking up was scroll. News, texts, and emails. Boom. Anxiety before coffee. Then I stopped. I gave myself 30 minutes phone-free, and guess what? My mornings felt calmer, less hijacked. I wasn't reacting to the world before I'd even built myself. Vishaka Blown said it right. Don't check your phone first thing. It steals your control. Now the bad thing, it sounds ridiculous, right? But making my bed gave me an instant win. A tiny act of order before the chaos. Navy Admiral William McRaven once said, if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. He wasn't joking. That small success at 7 a.m. set the tone. Here's what happened. I walked into my room at night, and it felt tidy and welcoming. That little sense of discipline carried into my work, my conversations, and even how I carried myself. So here's my question. What's your first victory every morning? Because trust me, it doesn't have to be huge. Sometimes skipping the scroll and smoothing the sheets is enough to build quiet confidence. Habit 6, keeping a planner, weekly planning. And here's the twist. Confidence isn't just about how you see yourself. It's also about how you handle chaos. That's where planning stepped in. For the longest time, I lived in my head. A million to-dos, half-forgotten deadlines, and promises I'd break to myself. That mess spilled into my self-image. I felt unreliable and scattered. Then I picked up a simple planner, and suddenly, life didn't feel so overwhelming. Psychology backs this up. When you plan, you reduce uncertainty. Less uncertainty equals less stress. Less stress equals more confidence. It's that simple chain reaction. Here's what I started doing. Every Sunday, I'd sit with a cup of tea and sketch my week. Nothing extreme. Just 3 key priorities per day, plus one fun thing, like calling a friend or taking a walk. Then, each night, I'd quickly review. The feeling of ticking boxes? Addictive. And the best part? I started showing up better for others. I wasn't scrambling, forgetting birthdays or missing deadlines. I became someone people could rely on. That external trust bounced back into internal confidence. Would you try it? Because let me tell you, nothing makes you feel more in control and confident than looking at your week and saying, I've got this. Habit 7, daily movement and exercise. This part blew me away. Confidence isn't just in your mind. It's wired into your body. I used to dread workouts. The gym felt intimidating, the mirrors unforgiving. But then I reframed it. Instead of chasing fitness goals, I chased movement, a 10-minute walk, a stretch before bed, dancing in my living room, and slowly my energy shifted. Science is clear on this. Movement releases endorphins, the feel-good chemicals. Exercise reduces anxiety and boosts mood, which directly shapes how confident you feel. But there's more. Every drop of sweat was proof to myself. I can push, I can commit, I can improve. That physical evidence trickled into mental confidence. Here's a story. I remember running my first mile without stopping. My legs burned, lungs on fire. But when I finished, I felt unstoppable. Not because I was fit, but because I did what I thought I couldn't. That self-trust changed everything. You don't need a fancy routine. Walk during your lunch break. Stretch when Netflix asks if you're still watching. Confidence grows when your body feels alive, strong, and cared for. So, what's one small way you could move today? Because sometimes just getting your blood flowing is the spark your confidence was waiting for. Habit 8, gratitude practice. Journaling or moments. But wait, it's about to get way more surprising. One of the quietest confidence boosters? Gratitude. I know it sounds fluffy, but when you're stuck in insecurity, your brain zooms in on what's wrong, what you lack, what you failed at. Gratitude flips the script. It forces you to notice what's working, what you've achieved, and who's by your side. That shift is powerful. Research shows that gratitude practices improve mental well-being and lower stress. But personally, it made me stop chasing worth outside of myself. When I wrote, "I'm thankful for my persistence" or "for my health," I realized I already had reasons to value myself. Here's how I did it. Every night, I wrote down 3 things. Sometimes big, like finishing a project. Sometimes tiny, like the way my coffee smelled in the morning. Some days, it was just, I made it through today. But every list chipped away at my self-doubt. And you know what's crazy? Gratitude made me bolder. When you already feel rich in what you have, you stop being desperate for external approval. That quiet confidence? Priceless. So here's my question. What's one thing you're grateful for right now? Write it down. You might notice your chest feels a little lighter already. Habit 9, posture and body language awareness. Here's something wild. Sometimes confidence isn't about what you think. It's about how you stand. I never realized how much my body language screamed insecurity. Shoulders slouched, eyes down, voice rushed. People picked up on it instantly, and worse, I felt it too. Then I tested a tiny shift. Shoulders back, chin up, slower speech. The difference? Immediate. Psychologists call this embodied cognition. Basically, the way you hold yourself shapes how you feel. Stand tall and your brain actually starts believing you're more capable. It's why Zen habits swear by stand tall and speak slowly. I'll give you a story. I once walked into a meeting feeling like an imposter. Instead of shrinking, I forced myself to take up space. Feet firm, voice calm. And guess what? People listened differently. They leaned in. They respected me. That response boosted my confidence more than any pep talk could. So, next time you're spiraling, don't just fix your thoughts. Fix your stance. Open up your posture, breathe more slowly, and look someone in the eye. Confidence isn't always a feeling you wait for. Sometimes it's a body language you practice until it becomes second nature. Would you try it? Because honestly, your body might already know the secret your mind is still chasing. Habit 10. Self-compassion plus celebrating small wins. And finally, the habit that tied it all together. Confidence isn't just about pushing harder. It's about treating yourself better. For years, I punished myself for every slip-up. Missed a workout, failure, spoke awkwardly, embarrassment. That self-cruelty drained me. Then I discovered self-compassion. Instead of tearing myself apart, I started asking, what would I tell a friend in this situation? The answer was never as harsh. Slowly, I learned to give myself grace. Here's the thing. Self-compassion doesn't make you soft. It makes you resilient. When you stop fearing your own judgment, you take more risks. You bounce back quicker. And yes, your confidence skyrockets. But the second piece? Celebrating wins, even tiny ones. I remember writing down, I spoke up once in class, or I cooked instead of ordering takeout. At first, it felt silly, but those notes stacked up into a portfolio of proof. I was growing. I was capable. Camille Stiles once said it best. Confidence grows when you forgive yourself and honor your progress. Those two habits together changed me. So here's my challenge. Tonight, write one thing you're proud of and forgive one thing you messed up. Do it daily. Watch your confidence bloom. Confidence isn't built in a single leap. It's crafted in small, consistent habits. These 10 shifts might look tiny, but stacked together, they change everything. So, which one will you start today? Drop it in the comments, hit like if this clicked, and subscribe. Because this journey is just getting started.